Test, test, test. Hey, what's up? Hope you're well. First time I've ever started a show like that, but she's all over the place. Is all about switching it up. I actually this season haven't done too many solo shows, so I thought, hey, let me do a solo show. What's going on? So, yeah, rock and roll. I'm on the West Coast right now, and my sister was supposed to be back from Burning Man today, this morning actually, and she got caught with everyone at Burning Man, and so, my prayers go out to all the people who are still stuck there. It's the third year in a row I've watched her little doggy named Stoa Homer. We're Greek, so Stoism, S-T-O-A, Stoa, and then Homer. It's on his birth certificate. He's so cute. He's so sweet, so precious. He's such a good boy. It's wild because a year ago, when my sister got him, and then a year later, I just noticed the growth in her heart, how it expanded and just more graceful, more relaxed. And I really love pets. I've been wanting a pet for myself this whole entire time. Won't get into all the details about it, but I've been actually serious about getting one and looking into it. And they're just beautiful, and especially like emotional support dogs, especially with like how everyone's feeling, in the world. Dogs, animals, pets, you're in your zone, and then you walk them and you take care of them and you feed them, and then it reminds you to like feed yourself and take a break and just go on walks, and it's so beautiful. So anyone who's a pet person here listening, I know you can identify, and there are some people who like are not pet people, which says a lot about people. You can definitely tell a person's character whether they're into animals or not. More so for the people who are into animals. Very normally I feel naive for the people who aren't conscious and aware, for the people who aren't into pets. So that's just, not all or nothing, just kind of an observation over the last years. But circling back around, I've been on the East Coast most of the year, and in my heart of hearts, I was thinking about my sister, and it'd be nice to come to California, and I haven't seen people here all year, and I could take care, of her little doggy and get some of that animal love, and I know she would feel really secure and safe of like me being with him. So I offered to come and watch him. Well, she went for 2 weeks. So she's been going to Burning Man for a few years now. She sets up and she has the experience, and then she tears down. So she just doesn't go as a person attending Burning Man. She is a part of the setup. So it's a whole process, and there's about 80 people in her camp. She's in a camp, and the camp she's in, some of them have kids, so it's not just like, and my sister doesn't do drugs. So I know people hear different things about Burning Man. Sidebar, I've known about Burning Man since I was a teenager. I can't believe I haven't gone yet. I still haven't gone to Burning Man. You would think with my personality and who I am that I would be like a Burning Man queen at this point. But there's also like the saboteur, like things I'm supposed to do or want to do I don't do, which is like a whole nother podcast. But sticking focused over here, Anna, her camp, the people who she goes with, they're on the board of Burning Man with the 4 founding members of Burning Man. So God bless her soul. Thank God she's okay. She did report to me. She is sick and dehydrated, and at 2:00 today, she was getting an IV for the dehydration and for being sick. So when the news broke out the other day, I received a text message a few hours prior to it being in public news. They were able to have like Wi-Fi for a few hours that they turned on somehow within their camp or whatever. And then it was just a short period of time just to let everyone know that they were okay and what was going on. It's not to freak out like about what happened in the news. I guess I could just read what she wrote. Hold on. So this was Saturday morning. Hey Coco, got internet for a few. We got rain and we are all stuck literally in the mud here and can't take anything down. They expect more rain and the roads are closed. I just wanted to let you know, even though I'm booked for Monday, I hope it's all going to be open then. Till then, we have little water and food, and the temp internet goes down in 2 hours. Please let mom and dad know I love you, and give Stoa my love. Prayer face, that embarrassed face, like, oh my God, like emoji, like, emoji with the red heart. That was like Saturday before everything got crazy in the news. There was rumors flying around, like all these different things, which was just false news on Twitter from 2 false accounts. So there wasn't an Ebola breakout or anything like that. Then she wrote today, which was Monday, Labor Day, at 1:08, she said, "Hi, love, I'm stuck here. her friend, I'll keep it private, says, hopes tomorrow. We are packing now. I'm getting an IV. I'm dehydrated and sick. Sad face. We'll try to text in a few hours. And so then she sent at 4:49, new flight, love. Sorry, the internet is inaccessible till later. Be back on soon. XOXO. And she sent me her flight. So she got a flight, which means they opened the gates to the playa to leave, so she could leave safely. And then hopefully, I think they'll probably be in a hotel tonight, I would figure, so she could fly out of Reno in the morning. However, it says delivered, but she's not answering, and she would I'm like checking in, are you feeling better, but she hasn't wrote, so like I don't think she has like internet yet. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, to say the least, we did get into a little bit of a tiff before she left. She was very high strung because she's been like on the go since last year, and she's a genius. She's so smart and loving and compassionate, but she totally needed this reset, and I'm glad she's okay. It's sad that she got sick. I'm glad she's on her way home, but with my my mom and dad, and the way she was responding and the way I was being, it just it really shifts perspective about like someone you care about, so yeah, it's important to reach out to the ones we care about and let them know. And if we're holding grudges or we have a little tiff, like just look at the bigger picture of someone's like life or death. Like I think it was just declared like a national emergency, so I'm glad she'll be coming home and she's not stuck there longer. I know like one of my friends sent me like the thing of like Diplo and Chris Rock and like another one of their friends, and then they left, and he had a show or whatever, and he left, and they did that, and that's like, okay, rock star, cool, da da da, and that's all good. They're like, I'm getting out of here, which I understand, and it was a risk, and they're very lucky because it something else could have happened. You just never know. I mean, being out there, it was just like a huge risk, but I'm glad they're safe. And then the other people who like left and got away, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I would have, who knows what I would have done in that situation, but in that camp, if I would have been with my sister, I would have probably stayed with them, because there are 10 principles. I believe there's 10 principles with Burning Man, and it's important to have discipline and not freak out, and especially if you're with like a camp of 80 people and there's kids involved. So for the safety of everyone and just nothing happening, you would want to keep everyone in a tight situation and follow the rules of Burning Man, just so like, everyone is safe, because anything could happen. You just never know. So I just hope everyone makes it out safe, under the circumstances, of the environment and the weather and everything like that. But wow, I mean, I can't believe like whoever's first Burning Man. I mean, I just could not believe if that was my first Burning Man. I don't think I'd be able to deal. But yeah, but there's a couple things, and the thing is, the camp my sister's with, some of the people are on the board, right, as I mentioned, and so there's certain rules and respect and regulations that one needs to follow, not only because of her circumstances, but I think it's like the principles of Burning Man, and the people who identify and understand the ethics of that shows your character in times of ups or downs. So, I'm not judging anyone who decided to leave. It's your life, it's your own right, but the principles don't fly out the window, or maybe they do fly out the window. I don't think they do fly out the window, because it was a natural catastrophe. Yeah, but they, specifically told everyone to stay in place, but not everyone's gonna follow roll call. And then the other thing is, but there is the principle aspect of making the commitment to go to follow the guidelines, right? And it's a part of that. So I think energetically that will be prominent in one's own meditation and reflection, or not. But the other thing is, it's a place where, there's online, like these memes, and everyone's like making not everyone, but a lot of people are like making fun of like, oh, these VCs and these like, wealthy kids, blah, 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 going. I mean, there's 80,000 people that go. So not everyone is a VC, and not everyone is like endless wealthy. And I mean, I've been involved like since I was a teenager, right? So, I mean, I haven't gone, but other people go, musicians, artists, they're just generalizing, saying it's just like all white, like wealthy people. But anyway, so like I said, I haven't been. So, but the thing is, this is a place where these people, innovators, creators, where things birth out of Burning Man, and it sets the tone and precedence for creatives and for VCs, for their year. And if they didn't fully experience that, then I wonder how it's going to reflect the next year. Because people who are true burners, they look forward to this epic moment all year and talk about it all year and then can't wait to go again. So on a psychological level, I think it's really going to damper a lot of people's creativities and, ecstasy outcome and not literal ecstasy like drugs, but just like, when you go on a holiday or, go to church to pray or something, it's like your omen, your peaceful place that you get to sit and do it. And if they didn't fully get to do that, then, me, I'm just reflecting as a human, just like wondering like, how is that trajectory going to look for the rest of us? Because we're all a ripple effect. We're all a ripple effect and we're interconnected. So I'll be interested to see that. I'll be interested to see if my sister goes next year. I think she will. God, just get her home safe tomorrow. But probably the true burners will be there. And then I was thinking, would I still go under these circumstances? And this is for me, because like for me, I'm like, it's not like I never want to go. Like I've always wanted to go and have the experience. But like if there's any rain, because I came to LA a couple days before Anna went, my sister, if there's any rain, I will not go. If it's totally dry and there's no rain, okay, I'll go. But if it's going to be raining like a few days and she was like worried that like the mud might be wet, setting things up and stuff, no. I wouldn't go. I almost went last year and it was like really, really, really dusty. My sister's like, it's so good that you didn't come. You wouldn't have survived. It was so dusty. And I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't. And then this year just like really took the cake, the mud cake. Anyway. So moving right along, I had a bit of a scare. I was a bit worried. And I'm just really grateful that my sister, will be coming home safe and, I can like support and help her in any way that she needs. I know her little doggy misses her very much. Speaking about the ripple effect, there's like a whole podcast I got to share with you. But finally, I'm going to make my first full-length feature documentary. I'm going to, I did a 2-minute video for it. It's being edited down right now with my girlfriend and producing partner, Alessandra Levy. She, did the admin stuff with me for like 2 hours this past week. To set up the Indiegogo account. It's going to be a 60-day campaign. I chose Indiegogo for a few reasons, but it's a 60-day campaign. And if I don't raise all the funds, then I still get whatever I do raise. And I've been so intimidated and so scared to do this. It'll be my first time in my life and my career, like asking for money from people and being so vulnerable. And an acquaintance that I know has a VC, speaking of VC funds, was the first investor in Indiegogo. So he put me in touch with Indiegogo. I was on the phone with them. They said they were going to put me on the front page. This was in 2012 and I didn't follow through. And then in 2018, I did the campaign video. I didn't know what I was doing. It was 14 minutes and my producing partner, Alessandra, looked at it. She's like, yeah, okay, it has to be like a minute. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then I talked to some other like kid, not really kid, but in his 20s who comes from this like quote unquote wealthy, successful family. And I was telling him about it and my plan and stuff. And he totally just like cut it down, diminished it in 2 seconds and just basically said, made me, I was already insecure, but made me like, no one can make you feel insecure. But I allowed him because I was insecure to make his thoughts and to make me feel more insecure. He's like, oh, don't ask people for money because then like you can just pay for it yourself. Like don't ask people for money. So I ended up not doing the Indiegogo in 2012. I didn't do it in 2018. And then here we are again. And then Zach Ingrassi, who was on my podcast for the Tribeca Film Festival with the Deutsche Coin Millionaire, they have Optimus, and he and his directing partner went to school for economics. They weren't filmmakers at all. When they graduated, he talks about in the podcast that there were things happening that they don't teach you in school. And so then they had this idea to go to Guatemala for $1 a day for $56 a total. It was $1 a day for 56 days. And they sold it to Netflix and they made it for $6,000. And it's on Amazon now. You can watch it $1 a day. And they set up a nonprofit. So in these like 5-6 years, they've raised over $2 million for this village in Guatemala. And to this day, they've raised over $90 million with different nonprofits because they always like hook up a nonprofit to the documentary. And I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, this is it for me. This is my focus. Like, out of everything I do, this is it. Impactful stories, listening, caring, sharing, helping, all that jazz. Like, it's just, this is so me. And I got so mad at myself and so enraged and so moved in a way, like, if they can raise over $90 million, then I can, I have this relationship with Renalyn Era, who's in the Philippines, since 1997. And I picked up the phone and I said yes, and I became her sponsor. And then she graduated from the program program from Children International. And then there was the birth of social media, and I only stayed on Facebook to connect with her, to see her life, her family, like viscerally what she's doing. And yeah, so I've sponsored her whole family, her two brothers, her grandparents, and her grandpa passed away a few years ago. And I've just watched the evolution of this family, and we're so connected in a way by the power of yes. And this is before I moved to Hollywood or I knew about documentaries or anything like that. But I just remember that feeling and seeing, this commercial. And by saying yes and helping out someone in need that was across the world, I would be the ripple effect. And then in 2016, I asked her, I said, is it okay, Renalyn, if I were to come, and shoot our experience, is it okay? And she says, yes, Miss Katie. Yes, Miss Katie. She calls me Miss Katie. And a few years ago, on Mother's Day, she's like, is it okay if I call you mom? You're like a second mom to me. You're like a mom to me, she said, not a second mom. She's like, you're an angel, and so I said yes. So that's so sweet. So with the ups and downs and in-betweens and the insecurity and all that, here we are, here I am. And I'm going to launch a campaign. And if you're listening and you're inspired, I would love you and invite you to be a part and support and share it and donate. And I'm giving awesome perks of putting people's names in the credits for helping make this happen. But I'm going to raise as many funds as I can within 60 days. And then I have a DP who is the DP from Culture Kids, my comedy project that I just uploaded to Film Freeway that will go into all the international film festivals. And that's what I'm going to do with the Ripple Effect as well. I'm going to put it into all the international film festivals. Also, the Gates Foundation has grants. I didn't see anything from the Philippines on there. I saw it a lot in America, a lot for women, a lot for Africa. Didn't see anything for the Philippines while I was browsing, but I'm going to enter into all the international film festivals and, reach out to different places for grants. And so what I'm going to do with, the funds of going shooting and doing the film festival, like pre the shoot and then post entry ships for the film festivals, I'm going to have an attorney friend set up a nonprofit and put some funds in that nonprofit. So then when the film is on Netflix or Amazon or wherever it shows, it'll be the website at the end of it where people can contribute and donate. And I can be like Zach Ingrassi and his partner Chris Temple, how they did with their first documentary called $1 a Day. I can do it for the Ripple Effect, for Renalyn, her family, and her whole community in the Philippines. Because if you Google where they're from, and I can give you the address soon in another episode, I'll do more in depth, but there's not a lot of content on it. There's so much poverty that there's not a lot of photos, videos, content online about it. So I feel very proud because I feel like, through my voice and my relationship with Renalyn since 1997, this will really help put this part of the Philippines on the map and save and help a lot of families. So when I was sponsoring her from day one, her dad only made, I think, $50 a month, and they slept on cots on mattresses on the ground and had a stove that was in the ground, and they had 2 pots and pans, and it's a square concrete that they would all live in. So yeah. Anyhow, okay, I've been talking your ear off. I appreciate you tuning in. If you would like to donate and contribute and be a part of the Ripple Effect, definitely just go to chinakas.com. I have a PayPal link, and it's a tax write-off, and you can put in the notes that it's for the Ripple Effect documentary, and however much helps. I'm doing special thanks to my gems, I'm going to call it, for people who contribute, an X amount, every amount counts, $20, $50, $75, it really, really supports. And then I'm going to do these tiers where it's $1,000. You will get credit in the film, a solo credit. There's other perks to coming to screenings, the movie premiere. I'm going to have a premiere and screening in LA, New York, and where I'm from, in Detroit, Michigan. So woohoo. But yeah, if you're listening to this, even if you just share it, that really helps, which I'm so grateful about. But soon, in a few weeks, I'll have the Indiegogo campaign link that will be live for 60 days. I have, switching gears. I do have 2 books on Amazon. If you want to pick up some of my books, I am just giving you an update here. I'm getting ready to release my 3rd book soon. It's called The Actor, My Greatest Love Thus Far. My girlfriend is Zolda Trachtenberg. She's amazing. I have a call with her tomorrow. I'm going to have her just do the last proof before I send it to printing. So I'm doing that. I've been striking here in LA. I plan to continue to strike some more. And yeah, I'm just take a deep breath. I'm just going to take a deep breath. Let's take the deepest breath we've taken all day. Cheers to a great week. Another breath. think I'm going to be doing some more solo episodes next week. I believe it's next week. A casting director, a Hollywood casting director. It's more like an entertainment casting director. I think she lives in Atlanta now. So I'm going to have her on the podcast, Amanda Doyle, the Casting Society Association. She was like on the board for 7 years. She's so cute and special and wonderful and kind. And she's going to come back on the show again too. So we're going to have a couple episodes with her. So thank you so much for tuning in and going with the flow and jumping and pivoting and being a part of the journey. If you want me to talk about anything or if you have any inquiries, do so through the contact section of my website. I am on all social media right now. I'm just focusing on Instagram, but really cool news. Paris Hilton started following me on TikTok a couple weeks ago. So I'm really bullish on that. I did uninstall 30 apps. TikTok was one of them, but as a creative director, filmmaker, just as an artist, like TikTok is the most fun because of all the filters and stuff. But Instagram, it has gotten pretty like hip and cool to certain things too. But yeah, I think those are all the things I wanted to cover right now. Thank God my sister is alive. And I'm grateful for you tuning in. And I know there was just last week like a gratitude day, but I feel every single moment of every single day is gratitude. And, you know, we're either practicing gratitude and or patience. So I'm grateful for you tuning in. I'm grateful for my sister to come home safe. I'm grateful, you know, you see how family comes together in certain times where we're able to dismantle things that, you know, the stuff that energetically we don't need to dismantle. I'm reading this book right now. I read it actually. I already read the book by Huxley. The Doors of Perception. I got it on Libby on audio. It's only 2 hours. It's a great book. And he has this amazing quote in the book. I had to write it down. Talk less and draw more. Huxley. Talk less and draw more. I love that. It's so good. Yeah, I don't want to fill you up with too much, but I do. But we'll check in with you next week. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. Mwah. Oh, make sure you're subscribing, share this with a couple of people, connect with me on social media, and please leave a 5-star review. It helps an independent podcaster like me. And because of you, we're in the top 2% out of almost 4 million podcasts, holding it down and strong all year. Let's go.